Hey guys, welcome to Home Beard Wednesday.
Barbara Streisand.
Hey guys, Jonah here, and welcome to another Homebrew Hairy Wednesday. Now, some of you might be asking, what the fuck is everyone doing talking about their mighty fine beardage? And as you can see, I've had a bit of a trim down here. I'm going to trim it up here as well. And that's mainly due to Tiny, because he said, make sure you look after your beard. Different kind of homebrew today. Yeah, he said look after your beards. Now, my beard I hadn't touched for more or less 2 months, just straight, and it was getting way out of hand. But what did it the most for me was people at work. Hang on a sec, tea break. Oh, yeah, people at work, Muslim guys, were coming up to me and saying Salam alaikum, and I was thinking, okay, they think I'm some sort of Muslim brother, and I say brother to most people, because I had this whacking great huge beard, and I was also getting quite a attention from the Singh guys, the Singh brothers, which obviously, as we all know, means tiger and is a sign of manhood. But yeah, I was getting random cultures coming up to me and respecting me for this huge, just ridiculous beard. So I've trimmed it back, trimmed the sides back, trimmed a bit under here, cut a bit back here. The tash, I tried to keep the tash, I don't know if you can see that. I tried to keep the tash without cutting it at all. So yeah, that's what Home Bearded Brewing Brothers Wednesday is all about. And also, oh pardon me, also over the weekend we had a huge amount of fun on one of the Facebook groups. I've set a group up, I know Roy Lake set one up, which is doing better than mine actually. There's a beer reviewers group that's been set up, but we've got our own little bearded brewers group, and we chat to each other on there. And yeah, Tiny was on there, SJ Paul was on there, Dave the Brewer was on there, and Scoosy Brew, or Scoosy 67 were on there on Friday night. And we, well, me and Scoosy just got absolutely hammered. Tiny had just woken up, because it was a morning for him, and he had a couple of beers as well. And SJ, it must have been late evening, like 5-6 o'clock in the evening, something like that. And man, I was so drunk. And what we did was we started talking about beards, and I was saying, hey man, how come all the good home brewers have got beards, even the women? And some of the guys latched onto this, and we just were talking about beards basically half the night. And it got to one stage where we all went into Craig Tube's broadcast that he does, and holy man, we were rattling the old the chat room with just beard stuff. We were going, yeah, beards rule, beards rule. And even some of the guys on there, like Dan ABA, sort of was was kind of going, what the fuck are they talking about? But it was fun anyway. What do you do when you're really hammered, eh? Anyway, I've been talking about rubbish, not really to do with brewing. And I haven't got a brew on at the moment, but next week I'm going to be doing a brew, and it's going to be the Smash Off brew. I know Zippy, we were talking the other day, and he's starting his, because it has to be ready for March, midway through March, so give it about a month, you know, you might get a taste of it, but if it's wrong, you won't get any kind of feedback. So I'm seriously considering dry hopping mine. And the problem with dry hopping is, if you dry hop and you leave it for too long, the dry hopping just turns bitter, and you end up with an obscenely bitter drink. But I'm thinking, because my brew is going to be reasonably light on the bittering, originally Zippy set up the smash off to have a 40 IBU limit, which he then subsequently changed, or he got rid of it because a lot of people were talking about doing kind of IPA style beers. But I held true with my recipe on Brewer's Friend, and I managed to get it up to 39.8, I think, IBUs, just on the limit. So I was thinking, yeah, I'm being true to what Zippy wanted originally. But then I thought I might dry hop it. So it'd be interesting to see. Might be a success, might be an epic failure. But hey, the way I see these competitions is one of experimentation. You know what I mean? Experimente. Which brings me on to another thing. You might have seen my video earlier on in the week, just on the camera phone, I should say. And I was talking about the SJ pour experiment, because SJ, old Steve-O, he's talking about doing another one, and he's asking for advice this time. And there's lots and lots of different things coming into the mix. I was of opinion with himself actually, and some of the other brewers, that we should kind of have a base backbone recipe which is possible to do with all grain or extract, just to make it a bit easier, because not everyone can do a boil. I mean, at the moment where I'm living, it's going to be really difficult to do a 2-gallon boil. Well, basically it means it's going to be a 3-gallon mash. So yeah, that's going to be difficult for me. However, for people that have never done all grain before, jumping straight in and doing a full all grain, not knowing exactly what they're doing, is going to be difficult. So if you can do an extract brew that's basically the same, obviously it's going to be slightly different, it's not so fresh and that kind of stuff, but some extract brewers produce some ridiculously good beer. I mean, I don't mind how you make it. If it tastes good, hey, it tastes good. That's all I'm saying. And then we had a little update from Paul Wicksteed. Yeah, he's the brother from down under, in the southern hemisphere, and he had some crazy idea, dude. He was talking about, well, basically more or less about what I was talking about the other week, with having a party grill or something. Is it party grill? Party grist? Something like that. Where you do a big beer, little beer. So yeah, it sounds very good. Basically what you do is you do a big mash, quite a strong mash, and you siphon off some of your first runnings, keep that, put the rest back in with your sparge water, so you end up with one with a very high OG but not so much volume, so you're getting quite a big beer. That's the big beer. And then your second one is your little beer, so you could end up with sort of an 8% beer, and maybe a 3.5% beer, but essentially they'll taste the same malt wise, or they should do, because they come in from the same mash. And if you use the same hops, if you do like a smash beer, big smash, little smash, wow, I mean, crazy shit, but nice one, Paul. I thought that was a really good idea. So we'll see what SJ says. The other thing, now this came up the other day, that me, Brewmaster Ben and Zippy were talking about doing a cider off. And I think it was, we were going to do a spice cider. So it's probably going to be more of an autumny, sort of late summer, autumny kind of style drink. But yeah, we're all going to do a few, and then we're going to have some drink off. Ben says he's up for it, Zippy says he's up for it, and I'm up for anything, mate. Whee! So that should be quite cool. Doing some sort of strong kind of cider with, I don't know, herbs, spices, that kind of thing. I think that would be really good. Because don't forget, guys, the stronger the alcohol, the more it takes on the taste of whatever spice you're putting in. So meads, spice meads, as Zippy will tell you, work really, really well. And the same could be said for a cider. Cider is an amazing drink. It's one of the simplest, easiest drinks to make. If you do it old school, you don't even need yeast. The yeast is on the skins of the apples. So it's a really, really amazing drink. And it can be super strong. You can get up to sort of, well, Calvados and that kind of stuff is obviously distilled, but strong ciders, you get 10% cider, no problem. So yeah, I think cider is a really cool way to go with that. What else have we done? We've been talking about the GBBF, the festival, and people are getting getting stupid for that. And we were talking about maybe having some sort of t-shirt or something. I basically want one just with my name across the back or across the shoulders, saying Uncle Jonah. And then Grant came up, that's Beer Lover, 1983, younger than me, dude. He came up and he basically said, no, they'll chuck you out if you have any advertising on your clothes. And I was thinking, wait a minute, people walk around in football tops. In fact, it's very difficult to get just a plain t-shirt without any logo on it at all. So I'm like, hey dude, that can't be right, man. But apparently so. If you wear a stupid hat that looks like a penis, they'll let you in, but if you wear any kind of advertising at all, they'll kick you out. Not sure about that. But yeah, we're definitely getting ready. I mean, August is only 6 months away. So, yes, very nice. I like it very much. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stick to my my non-alcoholic brew because I'm expecting a phone call, and it's quite an important call, so I don't want to be languid while I'm talking. I have a hard enough time talking when I'm sober. Anyway, this has been Homebrew Wednesday from Uncle Jonah, and we'll see you next week. Make sure you catch up with me on Supermarket Sunday, and it's going to be good. I can't really let the cat out of the bag, but if you're watching Homebrew Wednesdays and you don't bother watching Supermarket Sunday, make sure you watch the next couple, because it's real back to basics stuff. That's all I'm going to say. That's a little hint there. Yeah, so we'll see you next week. In the meantime, have a very good week. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you drink some brew, even if it's only tea.